An 8-year-old girl walked into a child psychologist's office in Seattle with tangled blonde hair and bruises on her arms. But it wasn't the bruises that would haunt Dr. Sarah Chen for the rest of her career. It was what the little girl whispered when Sarah knelt down to meet her eyes. "Please," the child said, gripping Sarah's hand. "You have to kill my father." Her name was Emma Mitchell. And the confession she was about to make would unravel a mystery so twisted, so heartbreaking, that seasoned detectives would struggle to sleep at night. Before we dive into this story, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we share the most unbelievable true stories every single week. This is that story. Emma had been brought to the Seattle Children's Advocacy Center by her second-grade teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez. During art class, Emma had drawn disturbing pictures, dark figures, red scribbles everywhere, and words no child should know. Dr. Sarah Chen had been a child psychologist for 12 years. She'd heard confessions that would break most people. But nothing prepared her for Emma Mitchell. Emma's father, James Mitchell, was a decorated firefighter in Tacoma. A local hero who'd pulled 3 kids from a burning apartment building just 6 months earlier. His wife had died 2 years ago in a car accident, and the community praised how bravely he was raising Emma alone. But during their first session, Emma barely spoke. She just stared at the dollhouse in the corner, her tiny fingers twisting the hem of her dirty pink sweater. When Sarah asked about home, Emma went rigid. "He locks me in the basement," she finally said. "When he brings them." Sarah leaned forward. "Brings who, Emma?" "The other children." Sarah immediately contacted Detective Marcus Webb. He was skeptical. Traumatized children's stories can be unreliable, shaped by fear and imagination. But he agreed to investigate. What they found at James Mitchell's house shocked everyone. Nothing. No evidence of abuse. No basement prison. The home was modest but clean, with photos of Emma and her late mother everywhere. The basement was finished, a rec room with a TV and Emma's toys scattered around. Neighbors described James as devoted. Always at school events. Never missed a parent-teacher conference. Dr. Chen, Detective Webb told Sarah over the phone, "There's no them. Maybe she's processing her mother's death in a troubling way." But Sarah couldn't shake Emma's terror. It was too real. Too specific. In their second session, Sarah tried a different approach. "Emma, why did you ask me to kill your father?" The little girl picked up a crayon and began drawing. This time, it was a house, but not her house. It was bigger, with a tall fence and a red door. "Because he's not my father," Emma said simply. Sarah's heart stopped. "What?" "He took me from the red door house. I was 6. My real name is Lily." Sarah spent the next week diving into missing children cases. And there she was. Lily Ann Peterson. Abducted from her home in Spokane, Washington, 2 years ago. Age 6 at the time. Blonde hair, blue eyes. Last seen playing in her backyard. The case had gone cold. Sarah compared photos, the resemblance was unmistakable. But something didn't make sense. Lily Peterson disappeared in August 2015. Emma's mother, Jennifer Mitchell, died in a car crash in November 2015, 3 months later. If James Mitchell kidnapped Lily, how did his wife not notice a strange child suddenly living in their home? Unless Jennifer Mitchell knew. Or unless Jennifer Mitchell was involved in ways no one had imagined. Sarah contacted the Spokane Police Department and connected them with Detective Webb. They wanted to move carefully. If James suspected anything, he might run. Or worse, hurt Emma. But Emma wasn't done with her revelations. In their third session, she said something that changed everything. "Dr. Chen, I need to tell you about the night she died." "Your mother?" "Jennifer." "No. My real mother. The woman in the red door house." The night she died. I saw who did it. What Emma told Sarah next shattered every assumption about the case. The killer wasn't James Mitchell. It was Jennifer Mitchell. According to Emma, or Lily, Jennifer couldn't have children. She'd become obsessed with having a daughter. And when medical options failed, she found another way. Jennifer had been stalking the Peterson family for months. On that August evening, Jennifer entered through the unlocked back door of the Red Door house while Lily's mother, Rebecca Peterson, was home alone. There was a struggle. Jennifer hit Rebecca with a fireplace poker. 6-year-old Lily watched from the hallway. Jennifer took Lily, told her that her mother was sleeping, and brought her to Tacoma. James Mitchell had been on a 48-hour shift at the fire station. When he came home, Jennifer presented Lily as a gift. A child she claimed to have adopted privately. But James grew suspicious when he saw news reports about the missing Spokane girl. He confronted Jennifer. They argued for weeks. Then Jennifer's car went off a bridge into Puget Sound. The police ruled it an accident, black ice, poor visibility. But Emma believed James killed Jennifer to keep her quiet. And now he kept Emma prisoner, not out of love, but out of fear. If she remembered the truth, if she spoke up, he'd go to prison. That's why you have to kill him, Emma said, tears streaming down her face. Before he kills me too. Detective Webb reopened the Jennifer Mitchell crash investigation. The original accident report mentioned something odd. Jennifer's seatbelt had been cut, not torn. Meanwhile, Sarah pushed for DNA testing. If Emma was really Lily Peterson, they'd have proof. But before the results came back, James Mitchell showed up at Sarah's office. He was calm. Too calm. He sat in the waiting room and said, "I need to tell you the truth about Emma. All of it." Sarah had already pressed the silent alarm, but she let him talk. "Emma isn't Lily Peterson," he said quietly. "And I think she knows that." He explained that his wife Jennifer had kidnapped a child, but not from the Red Door house. He claimed she took Emma from a parking lot in Portland after her real mother, a drug addict, passed out in the car. He pulled out photos, Jennifer with Emma as a toddler, years before Lily Peterson went missing. "Emma is deeply traumatized," James said, leaning forward. "She's created this elaborate story because she saw news coverage and latched onto it. She wants to be the missing girl who gets rescued. She wants a different story than the one where her real mother abandoned her." Sarah didn't know what to believe. Then the DNA results came back. Emma was not Lily Peterson. But she was also not the Portland child James described. The DNA test revealed that Emma was a genetic match to Jennifer Mitchell. She was Jennifer and James's biological daughter. Sarah sat in Detective Webb's office, staring at the report in disbelief. "How is this possible?" she asked. Jennifer Mitchell had documented infertility. "Forged," Webb said. "We contacted her doctors. Jennifer never underwent fertility treatments. She fabricated the entire medical history." But why? The answer was in Jennifer's autopsy report. Cause of death, drowning. But toxicology showed high levels of sedatives, levels consistent with being drugged before the crash. And then came the detail that broke the case wide open. When divers retrieved Jennifer's car 2 years ago, they found a child's jacket in the trunk. Small. Pink. With the initials LAP embroidered inside. Lily and Peterson's jacket. Jennifer Mitchell had kidnapped Lily Peterson. And Jennifer Mitchell had killed Rebecca Peterson. But Lily never made it to Tacoma. Under pressure, James Mitchell finally confessed. When he came home from his shift that August night, Jennifer was hysterical. She'd kidnapped a child, but the girl wouldn't stop crying, wouldn't stop screaming for her mother. Jennifer panicked. She'd given Lily sedatives to calm her down. Too many sedatives. Lily Peterson died in the Mitchells' guest room before morning. James, terrified of losing everything, helped Jennifer dispose of the body. They weighted Lily's small body and dropped it into the deep waters of Hood Canal under cover of darkness. But living with the guilt destroyed Jennifer. She became paranoid, erratic, convinced that Lily's spirit was haunting her. So James killed Jennifer. Made it look like an accident. Started over. Emma, their real daughter, had been so young she didn't remember Lily. But she'd absorbed her parents' terror, their whispered arguments, the guilt that poisoned their home. Over the years, Emma constructed a story from fragments. News reports she'd glimpsed. Her parents' nightmares. Her own need to understand why her mother died and her father became so cold. She became Lily in her mind. The Red Door house, the basement prison, the other children, it was all her brain's way of processing a truth she couldn't quite remember but somehow knew was there. James Mitchell was arrested and charged with murder, kidnapping, and concealment of a crime. After 3 weeks of searching Hood Canal, they found remains that DNA confirmed belonged to Lily and Peterson. Lily's father, who'd never stopped searching, finally got to bring his daughter home. Emma is now in foster care with a trauma-specialized family. She doesn't talk much about what she remembers versus what she imagined. But sometimes, in their sessions, she says something that chills Dr. Sarah Chen to her core. Dr. Chen. I did see her, you know. In the house. See who, Emma? The girl in my dreams. The one who looked like me. She was scared. Sarah doesn't know if Emma truly caught glimpses of Lily during those terrible hours before the other girl died, or if she's still trying to make sense of the darkness that lived in her home. Maybe some confessions don't have clean answers. All Sarah knows is that when an 8-year-old girl begs you to kill her father, you listen. Because the truth, however twisted, is always there. Even if it takes you places you never expected to go. If this story left you speechless, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next heartbreaking true story. And drop a comment below, what did you think happened before the twist? I read every single one.